Good Tuesday afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another video. And sorry I didn't get this video up in time because it was supposed to be filmed before I went on vacation, which I am now back from. Well, actually I have vacation the whole week, but I just went for a Branson weekend trip. But anyway, came back yesterday, and now you're getting another video. You can only guess what it's gonna be, but I'm going to go ahead and give you my thoughts on the David Gordon Green duology. So this of course is Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills 2021. So let's get started with Halloween 2018. Okay, so this was directed by David Gordon Green with the help of Danny McBride as a writer and executive producer, and this takes place 40 years after the original events. So this takes an approach where it retcons every single sequel after the original. So if you want to be true, this could technically be Halloween 3. The whole timeline is so complicated it's hard to keep up with, but I gotta say, this one as a front runner as my new favorite Halloween film, because it does something very different. It actually makes Michael more vicious, and he's an unstoppable killing machine. And Jamie Lee Curtis is back as Laurie Strode, and she's trying to help her family survive. It starts off with Michael in like an insane asylum, and these two investigative journalists want to try and interview him. But that opening scene is the tensest moment in this film, because you don't know if Michael is gonna snap or what, because the guy actually pulls out his mask, holds it in front of him, and says, "Say something." And then you get the Halloween theme. So it's a really good standout part in this movie. But of course you're introduced to Judy Greer and Allison Maciak, which Judy Greer is now Laurie Strode's daughter, and Allison Maciak is her granddaughter. And they are now the family that stays away from Michael Myers. So I really do enjoy this one. It's got a very good ending that leads you into Halloween Kills. But I also gotta say, some of the deaths in here are very, very brutal. Especially when after the bus crash, there's like a whole bunch of these escaped convicts or escaped inmates, and it's kind of like a lonely, dark road, and his father and son come up in a truck to try and help them, but the boy has a gun, and he goes back to the truck, and then Michael Myers is in the back seat, and he whams the kid until he dies. It's one of the first kids he's ever killed. So that shows you how insane he is in these two movies. And also you have Sartain, which is like the new Loomis, didn't really care for him at all. And he's kind of like a throwaway character in my opinion. You almost forget about him. But otherwise, I do really enjoy this movie very much. And I like how they made creative choices to continue his story and Laurie's story. And ultimately, I'm just going to go ahead and give this... I'm going to give this a B+. Because it is something that we've seen before, but it does a little bit something different. And that just makes Michael Myers unstoppable. And those are my thoughts on Halloween 2018. Moving on to Halloween Kills. Same thing. This begins when Michael is trapped in the basement after the fire, and you get some of the most brutal deaths only in that scene, where he just goes up against like firefighters, he stabs them, he saws them, he does everything imaginable. And I love that scene very, very much. But the way this one begins, it's an alternate story on the original Halloween, because Michael is actually apprehended by the police, and he was never shot by Loomis, and that's how Halloween 2018 happened. But it was a really good opening that begins an otherwise decent film. This is all about the townsfolk getting revenge on Michael Myers, where all they say, "Evil dies tonight." You get this mantra throughout the entire film. And Michael Myers is very ruthless in this film. He doesn't stop until there isn't a single living soul in Haddonfield. This is the most brutal and goriest he's ever been in franchise history. And I gotta say, this is the Michael Myers that I have been wanting to see. He just has no sympathy. He just kills anything that breathes. And this is a very, very good time. And this ends on the biggest cliffhanger, where Michael actually kills Judy Greer. And that's it. And we got to see what happens in Halloween Ends, which I will be reviewing that really, really soon. So look forward to that video. But continuing on, like I said, the main scene that is very memorable is the firefighter standoff. And I also got to mention Big John and Little John. They're two of my favorite characters in this film. And it almost breaks my heart that Michael actually killed them. Because they are like comic relief. But I also really like how Tommy Doyle, Nancy Loomis, I think that's her name, and Lindsay is brought back into this movie, because they are like three of Michael Myers' survivors. But of course, Tommy Doyle is bludgeoned to death, And then Nancy Loomis is, God, how did she die? She got stabbed brutally, and Lindsay is now the only survivor. So it was kind of like a legacy against these three side characters. Just wish they could have survived. Well, at least Tommy Doyle, because I did like Anthony Michael Hall in this one. But this is carnage candy galore, and the best I've ever seen Michael Myers in the Halloween franchise. This may be controversial, but I think I may like this one more than Halloween 2018. So I might just go ahead and give this an A-. Because I know a lot of people either like this or don't care for it, but I really enjoyed it. Because I've seen this like 3 times, and every time I do watch it, I enjoy it more. So, those are my thoughts on Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills. And we finally made it to that point where I have Halloween Ends coming up as soon as I get back from my second weekend excursion. I'll film that review as soon as I can and let you know my thoughts on it. Otherwise, I'm going to have my Hellraiser retrospective coming up in the next couple days, hopefully. I'm going to do my best friend's exorcism, Hocus Pocus 2, and the Munsters movie reviews, only if I have time. Do my Halloween Ends review, and I decided to wait until Halloween to rank the Halloween franchise. So that's going to be one of my biggest videos to film. I'm very excited to bring it to you. So just look forward to more videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios. Peace.